So it's already dusty. That is the joy of this place. And yes, it turns out that wing, I think, has been painted. Matt thinks the same. It is a slightly different colour. And yet, catch it in the light, it doesn't look too bad. But again, you know, the wings will need painting, but there is much shininess. Yeah, the wheels still need doing, ignore them. But, you know, it's definitely, it's got shine, man. It's got shine. Granted, some of the, it was really dark when we were doing this. It got really dark, so some of the that paste stuff, whatever it is, needs wiping off. But it is definitely starting to look like a, just, yeah, you can't see through the dust. But look at the shine on that, man. That is it's a lot shinier than that is likely to be. But you know, it's definitely sort of kind of starting to look like a car again, isn't it? I mean, this is really not painting weather, but I have run out of time completely on this, so I've blown some Triton. Yeah, that is actually where the boot lid's damaged, where the badge was, and I hacked the hell out of it to get the badge, not the previous badge that was on it, but the badge before that. Although I'm not overly fussed because it tells me where the badge needs to go. But painting in this weather, I've ended up with some, well, I mean, there's all sorts of shit landing in it. There's runs in it where the wind's catching. There's stuff landing in it. This is just so far from ideal that, you know, kind of wasting my time. But I've got to get it done and back together, and the weather's not going to get any better. And I'm, you know, it just is, isn't it? Although that said, of course, it's now looking like it might rain, which is annoying because I've done it right on the edge. It will look terrible. I'll have to do it again next year when the weather's less terrible. But on the plus side, it's not difficult to take the hatch off. There's another bloody great run in it there. And again, this is where you're just sort of like pursing it with the gut. And there's also, oh God, it does look awful. It really looks awful. But what do I do? I mean, it's supposed to get much colder towards the end of the week. And I've run out of weather. So I'm going to let that tack off, and I'm going to cheat. I don't like it, but I'm just going to do essentially wet on wet with some clear coat today, in the hope that we might be able to buff it back enough to look not completely dreadful. I'm hoping that might go off enough just so I can, you know, try and get the run out of it. It's become depressing weather-wise, but you know, it is what it is. So I can pull this off next year and do it again when the weather is kinder, hopefully. So this is a cold start with, I have advanced the pump as far as I physically can on the stops. At least it's not billowing smoke. However, because it's cold, the advance lever is still advanced. So it'll be interesting to see what occurs when it warms up. And that lever will move that way, which will retard the timing. You know, I don't really know. It's a little bit smoky, but of course all this thing's done is idle for a long time, so a bit of smoke I'm not too fussed about. It is at least running on 4 cylinders, even though it's a little bit shaky. Shakier than I'd like. I am definitely coming to the conclusion that binning that bloody pump off and putting a Lucas on it is the way to go. The only drawback with that is having to make up some brackets for the kickdown cable. But you know what? Making brackets has got to be better than us holding around with pumps that don't really want to do anything. Because even with that as advanced as it will go, it's still a bit short on the dial gauge. Now, again, the pulley is incorrect. I'm not entirely sure what pulley this should have. I can guess, but I don't have one, so it makes no odds. So, short of moving it around one tooth on the cam belt, I don't really want to do that. Or finding the correct pulley, but at the moment that's pretty smoke free and it sounds okay. So I'll let it warm up as much as it will idling in here. It's centre 4, so it's going to be getting dark soon. But I'll let it warm up and see what occurs when the advance lever retracts. So with the stop fully home, so that it's now as retarded as that lever will make it, it is definitely better. It's not perfect, but it's better. There's still a little puff of smoke, but it is running on all 4, and you can rev it without it popping and banging. And I'm just chucking out a little bit, but it's an XUD. It's better. It's not perfect, but I can't advance it anymore, and I think it needs a little touch more. So I'm going to have to look into getting a pulley, but I think, or a different pulley, but I think that is, its issue. I think the injectors are okay. I think the pump's okay. I mean, it was a brand new pump, so there's no reason it shouldn't be. It wasn't even a recon. It was brand new and not cheap. But I'm a lot happier with that than I was. So I think I'll and it needs a good blast. You know, it's going to be full of soot. It really hasn't worked for a very long time, so it needs a good blat, which I can't do at the moment. But it's a lot happier than it was, so I'm all right with that at the moment. It all needs a damn good clean in here, but I'm a lot happier with that. So. Lots of fans are nowhere near coming in, I should imagine. What we got? Yeah, I mean, it's barely warm. Barely warm. So, very hard to make it warm with it idling when it's not all that warm anyway, but it sounds a lot happier than it did. That again, I mean, when the pump cuts in, and it does a lot, because I'm sure that hydraulic pump is shagged. It does drag the revs down, it stays down unless you blip it. And again, there is some smoke, but I mean, it's not completely clouding the bloody building out like it was. So I think I will call that a win. The morning after the night before, ignore all the marks on it. It rained on it overnight, but I am so pissed off with this. That's not a run in the lacquer. That is actually a run in the base coat that I've lacquered over because, well, as you'd have seen in the previous video, the weather was horrific. The irony being, today, it was supposed to be wet and shit and windy. It's a little bit breezy, but not too bad. Sun's out today, would have been perfect. Or, well, you know, less, not perfect. That bit looks bloody awful. There's bits where the masking tape's taken the paint with it, so I'm going to have to do a bit of touching it anyway. I'm really tempted, if I get time and the weather's amenable over the weekend, I'm tempted to mask all this up, rub that back and do it again, because that is in the base coat, and there's various bits in the base coat where the wind's caught it, and I've ended up with curtains everywhere, and I mean it still looks shit anyway. I'm tempted to flat it back and do it again if the weather's amenable over the weekend, because it lets the rest of the car down. It looks horrendous and I hate it. It also, if you look at it from any other angle, you can really see the metallic sort of poking through. It looks like a completely different colour there. I hate it. I really hate it. Anyway, it's been left overnight, so let's try a cold start with no throttle, and I would expect it to start and stop. Yeah, exactly like that. It does seem to need throttle. That said, there are reasons for this. That's not the car smoking, that is me smoking. So, the old Bosch pump, well, and the Lucas, down there is a cold start throttle advance, which is also works off a wax stat thing. I've put several on mine when I was running mine. I had about 2 in a year, and it failed and it kept fading, so I didn't bother. This one was the same, so we just disconnected it. So obviously when it's stone cold it doesn't get the throttle advance, so give it a little bladder throttle and it ain't too bad. And I'm still happy with that. That is it's not kicking out loads of grey smoke, so happy days. Happy days. course, BX connoisseurs will know that on a car with a whale tail GTI spec, that panel where the number plate sits should of course be sat in black, which it was on this car. I painted it black a long time ago when the thing got torched, after it got torched. And I kind of decided this time that actually with the green tint lights, I think it looks better in green. So I'm going to leave it like that. Well, polish it, but leave it green. And if Dad doesn't like it, then when I paint the tailgate next year, I'll do it black. But I quite like it in green. I mean, it looks better with the sun directly in it, because of course you can't see how bad it is. So I've been quite busy inside. It's all back together. Apart from that bit, so the selector pack, Dad fitted LEDs to it because the little bulb thing was a bit naff. But of course they're sort of plastic welded together, so we had to break the plastic welds, and he bonded it back together with silicone, which is not known for its sort of tensile strength. So it sort of fell apart when I tried to put it back in. So I Sikaflexed it yesterday. So I think the next job today is try and put this thing back together. So after a bit of wiggly wobbly, it now slides like it should. So we can try again. Whilst yet again ensuring that balloon isn't going to get itself trapped in the mechanism, and yet again, so that little cover needs to slide down the back there. Okay, so happy with that. Let's go and get a bit of rag to wipe all that bloody grease off that. Hang on a minute. So if we pop, actually if we don't pop them in yet, let's pop this in. And then what you need to do is find the little, there we go, there's a little cutout slot that goes down into, so you need to locate it in that, and then click it all together. A bit like that. Almost getting good at this now. Almost. Oh dear, hang on, I picked up the stereo on. There you go. I don't know what the hell that was. What was that? No idea. It's not Muse. Unless Matt Bellum is going back to the Origin of Symmetry days. Okay, so torque back in. We do this torque up. But we leave that torque undone. And we put the ignition back on. There you go. You can now move. You can move this to set it up. Look, good, isn't it? Bit like that, and then you do this up, which clamps the plate down like that, and then it should stay there for the rest of the time. Happy days. All right, and that's how you put one of them back together. Oh. Right, so I might go and see if I can find an LED somewhere. I might have one kicking about, and I can put that bit back together and then sort the wiring under the queen bin and put that back together. And I think apart from the A-pillar trim, that is about it in here. And then just clearing all the shit out the back, and the sunroof sort of, I still need to do the sunroof, tidying the arse end up, doing the hydraulic pump, off for MOT. This is not a happy sounding fan, is it? I said it, shut up now. I'll change it whilst it's in bits.